This teachlet is on multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. So what I first did is created a place value chart. So ideally, we don't want to have to draw this on all of our tests, but this is a good place to start so we understand what is actually happening to our numbers. So I have my hundreds, my tens, my ones, my tenths, and I wrote it in both decimal and fraction form, my hundredths, my thousandths place. So my first number here is 2 and 67 hundredths times 10 to the second power. So 10 to the second power, if we break that down again, we get this. 10 to the second power is a 1 with 2 zeros. So we're actually multiplying by 100. So I'm going to put our digit into our place value chart right here, 2 and 67 hundredths. And we're going to show what happens. When we're multiplying, our number is going to move to the left on the number line. So my 2 is going to move 2 times. 1, 2 times, because we're multiplying by 0. So this would be 1 time. This would be 2 times. So the 2 is going to wind up being right here. My 6 is going to move 1, 2 times. And my 7 is going to move 1, 2 times. My decimal is going to stay where it is. The decimal doesn't actually move. But when we go back to our problem, it kind of looks like the decimal moved. It looks like the decimal moved to the right 2 times. So what we want to know that the number actually moved, but we also know, in trying to find a way to easily do this without having to draw a place value chart each time, that it looks like this is what happened. 2 moves, and my decimal winds up here. So the product is 267. Same thing happens when we are dividing. We're just moving a different direction. So 267 divided by 10 to the third power. So I'm going to start with my 267. Actually, I already have it written because it was the product of this answer. And it is going to move to the right 3 times, because when we divide, we get smaller. We fair share and our pieces get smaller. Just like if you had a pizza and you're dividing it amongst the people in your family, everyone gets a smaller piece than the whole. So the 7 is going to move 1, 2, 3 times, and it's going to wind up here. The 6 is going to move 1, 2, 3 times and wind up here. The 2 is going to move 1, 2, 3 times and wind up here. And our decimal doesn't actually move. It stays the same. But when we come to the problem, what it looks like is the decimal is right here, and it goes 1, 2, 3 times. And so my product is 267 thousandths. All right, so 34 divided by 10 to the third power. Let's give that a try without a place value chart. Now that we see what's really happening. We know in a whole number that the decimal place is actually right here. And we're dividing, so we're going to get smaller. We're going to move that decimal to the left. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, and the decimal winds up right here, but I have this hole where nothing is. So nothing is a 0. And I moved it 3 times because we're to the third power. So my quotient, answer to division problem, is 34 thousandths. Let's give a multiplication one a try. 1 and 2 tenths times 10 to the second power. So now our number is going to get bigger. We're multiplying, repeated addition. We're going to move to the right 2 times. 1, 2. And of course, we don't want our x there. We know that we have to fill in with a 0. So my product is 120.